Alright, let me show you what I'm going to do today. Yeah, the guys were a little upset last week because they wanted to get it started and everything. You know, they want to try and start it, but until I block this hole up here, I won't be able to start it, you know, because we don't need that hole. And then also, there's a little tiny imperfection in the bearing I got to fix, because when we cut that off, you know, it was an oil relief, and you got to seal everything up on a two-stroke, or else it won't start. Yeah, this hole here, originally that was for a mixer. This here was the mixer. You gotta remember, this engine was originally, this was the bottom here, and the mixer would go in there, you know. That would be the air mixture, and it had a little knob there just to let a little air in, or close it off. And then this other hole here where I made the manifold for the carburetor was actually a jet went in there. This is an original Maytag jet that would go in this way, and then on the bottom you see it's threaded. That would be the gas line going into the tank with a check valve on the end of it, like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this hole up here. I don't want to just weld the patch on it. I think I might want to epoxy a piece of metal on there in case you ever have to use that. Someday I may want to change the carburetor setup, you know, but you know, because that's a perfect bored hole. So we're going to work on that, and let me see if I can explain what we're doing here. Okay, if you remember, we cut this piece off, this round piece. It's actually the bearing, and that's what's left of it. Let's see if I can get this off left-handed here. Okay, we're getting it. Okay, you see, that's a bronze bearing in there, or brass or something, I don't know. But anyway, if you look in there, let's see if I can turn the light on here. Okay, if you look in there, you see the groove. You know, that's so the crankshaft gets lubrication and stuff. I'm not going to cut it off completely. I just want to. Well, that's the inside. This is going to be the outside. You see that little nick there, and then there's a little nick on this side. I was going to epoxy it, but I'm just going to put a blob of solder. I think I'm going to go with solder there and solder there, just to seal it off, so you're not sucking air. Okay, and that should cure the problem. So let me get to working on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to take all this off to work on it. This here, I don't want the flywheel in the way, and the carburetor, so I'm going to have to disassemble the whole top half here. Alright, let me start that. Alright, I'm going to take the flywheel off here. This is a set screw that the racer put in there. I mean, did a beautiful job too. Dead center. Can't get any better than that. And my buddy Rob, he machined this. He machined this so well that this cotter key in here, I can't even pull this cotter key out here. Or not, it's a keyway. It's not a cotter key, it's a keyway. Such a perfect fit. I can't pull it out with my fingers. I'm going to have to get a pair of pliers or try and get a screwdriver under it. Yeah, that was a perfect fit. Absolutely no play at all in there. It's incredible. This is another real tight fit. Try to get this out of here. There we go. Yeah, it came out. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, it came out real nice. Here, maybe you get a better idea. Now you can see what's going on here. Alright, this is where the mixer used to go. And then this was the jet. You see that? I mean, a little tiny microscopic little hole, and that jet would go in there, and then you would tighten down the set screw, and then your gas line would come out of there right into the tank. Alright, that worked out real well. That soldered in there real good. I don't know how well you can see that, but it filled in that little groove. I didn't have to fill it in that much, probably less than 1/4 of an inch. Here's the other side. You know, just to keep air from getting through there. Okay, you were happy with that. Let's see if I can put this on here. Yeah. Fits there real nice. Okay. Now let's get to this piece here. Alright. We cleaned that all up and with lacquer thinner and wire wheel and stuff, so it's pretty clean. What I'm doing is I'm just going to epoxy this little patch on here first. Let me sit down here. I'm going to epoxy that on there first. That way tomorrow, you know, when I shape everything and fair it in, I don't have to worry about that little piece there. You know, I probably could have just smeared a whole bunch of shit on there and you know, ground it down tomorrow, but you know, there's no hurry. It's just easy to do it this way. Do it right the first time. Make sure that hole's covered. Alright, gonna let this sit overnight and then we'll get back to it tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day. This little patch I put here had overnight to harden up and actually did a nice job. It's as hard as a rock. And I guess I'll do a little body work on that. I think I'll come right up to here. There's a factory seam right here. I think I might just bring this putty right up to there. I thought about just grinding that off and making it look good and everything, but you want to you want to keep a little bit of character. I mean, you know, it's an 80-year-old engine. And then while I got the putty out, I think maybe with the epoxy, I think I might work on this and smooth this out. Rich did a nice job. He welded the whole outside of this and did a nice job. There's a couple of voids here. He was going to fill in with weld and redo it, and I told him, I said, just leave it like that. I'll fix that with the epoxy when I do the rest of the engine. That's where the fan belt's going to ride. So I was going to have to polish that up anyway. The fan belt's going to ride right inside there. Alright, let me file this down and clean it up a little bit. And then throw some epoxy on here. Alright, I got that covered. I put that down pretty smooth, so I should have very minimal sanding. Not much at all. And here's a thing there. Should have very minimal sanding on that too. Alright, I'm going to stick this inside overnight, let it harden up, and then I'll take the jug out now, the cylinder wall and head, whatever you want to call it, and I got it sitting in some gasoline. Probably been there for a week, so all the paint should have come off. I'll go get that out, maybe clean that up. Don't know how long this video is. Maybe I'll show you that, maybe I won't. Alright. Alright, we've got a few minutes left here. What I'm doing now is, like I said, this has been sitting in a tub of gasoline for I guess about almost 2 weeks now, and had a lot of paint on there, and I don't know how much you're going to see, but it all loosened up, and now all I have to do is just run a little screwdriver in and wire a brush, and all this stuff is going to come out. I don't know how well you can see up here the head, but this is all old paint, you know, and now it just comes out real easy. You'll probably hit a wire brush and probably come right out even easier than that. Yeah, actually came out pretty nice. So as far as paint goes, anyway. All right, let me dick around with this for a little while. And even the carbon, it loosens the carbon up inside. I don't know if you can see inside the exhaust chamber here, but it loosens all that carbon up. So, like I said, let me dick around with this for a while and get this clean, and then maybe I'll hone it out, and it should be ready, you know. I want to try and get this ready so the guys can play with it next week and try to get it running. Alright, enough of this. Alright, I meant to mention that soaking in gasoline, the reason gasoline works so good now is because it has that alcohol in there, and I think the alcohol just eats into the paint. Alright, this cleaned up pretty good. It may appear to look like there's some rust on there, but that's not rust. strange thing about this is that it had red paint on there, and I've never seen a Maytag with red. You know, out of the factory they were either green or black, and that's what's on there now. Just a little residue or stain. I would call it a stain with red paint. But before I paint this, I'm going to soak it in lacquer thinner, get all the grease or whatever or impurities off of it. But I'm happy with the way it came out. Yeah, the stuff just about fell off. You know, I used a bottle brush in between the fins. That pushed it out. And then I had a brass one here. Stainless steel brush. Yeah, stuff just actually fell off, you know. Here's most of it here. But anyway, yeah, it's ready to go. I cleaned out all the carbon. I didn't hone it yet, though. I did chase the thread, the spark plug thread here. Chase some threads. Not that it needed it, but we did it anyway. So, all right. So this thing should be ready to start when the guys come over. Probably I'm not going to paint it till springtime, till we get a little warm weather, because it's probably paint it outside. But that's it for now. All right. Thanks for watching.